Hey, what's up guys? In this video, we're gonna be unboxing and looking at the first look of the all-new Luminar 3, a highly anticipated software release for post-processing software for landscape photographers. What do I think about it? Is it a game changer? We're gonna get into all that and an overview right after this. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome into the video. On this channel, we talk landscape photography. So if you're into landscape photography at all, whether that be going out into the field, taking photos, post-processing, gear reviews, consider subscribing to this channel because we're coming out with videos on all of that stuff weekly. So in this video specifically, we're taking a look, the first look at Luminar 3, the Luminar with libraries. And it's something that a lot of you have been commenting to me about, that you've wanted in Luminar for some time. And a lot of you have been hindered about switching over to Luminar from Lightroom because of this issue. You have no way to organize your images before you edit them in Luminar. So I'm really excited to show you what I've found in my first look of Luminar and really take you onto my computer screen, because I really believe that this is going to unlock a new software for many of you that have been hoping to get out from under the monthly subscription package that Lightroom makes you use as a landscape photographer for the most of us. So what I want to do is show you exactly what I found on my computer screen and give you a complete review so that you can make the decision should you switch over to Luminar from Lightroom like I already have. So let's get right into my computer screen and we can see how this software works and what do I think about it. Is this a game changer? We're gonna answer that question at the very end. All right guys, here it is, straight out of the box. First look, Luminar 3, Luminar with libraries. Here's how it looks. First of all, I just want to really breathe this in. This looks so modern and sleek for a libraries feature, and it really honestly wasn't what I was expecting at all from a software on their first release of a libraries feature. You know, I got so used to the Lightroom version of everything being in exactly the same size tiles. I really like how this looks being in individually sized, like this is landscape view, these are portrait view. I really like seeing those side by side and having this tile layout. If you want to change how all these look, you can go into this drop down menu at the top of your screen and go to like small, medium, large, or largest and adjust the way your tiles look. I've found that large works really well because they're big enough that you can actually see them, and also that you can see many next to each other, which is what I really like. I like to see, you know, a lot of my images, but not so small that I can't see them at all. Sticking with the organizational part of this, I really enjoy all of my options. As a landscape photographer, I want that. I want multiple options of an editing software. First of all, I can see my library view. If you look up here on the top right part of your screen, you can see the library part. And then you also have an edit option. So if we're selected, let's say on this image, which is one of the best images that I shot this day, I can go to the edit option and it'll bring up the typical screen that you see in Luminar. For the exemption of this bar down on the side, this is your sidebar, and it's just another libraries navigation feature. Rather than going back and forth between library and edit, you have this sidebar over here that allows you to toggle between your images. So if I wanted to edit this image next, I could click on that and it would let me edit this image. This is big for me because I often get tired of switching back and forth in Lightroom of like my editing and library window. I think this is a cool feature, a sidebar to have on the left side of your screen. You can hide that in your view tab. You can just go to hide film strip and that will make that go away. And then also over here you have your info tab. So you can look at exactly what settings were used for this. Now I was using a prime lens that is manual focus only. So I was using this at f16, so that's not going to show up. But it shows up that I was using this in ISO 100 and it was a 2-second exposure. I have my histogram up here. Okay, so let's go back to the library just so we can see this. If you double click on the big image, it'll take you back to the tiles that you have. And I want to talk about like different options you have for organization, because I feel like that's really big for landscape photographers. Nobody edits in the same type of fashion, so having multiple options is a big thing. And I really like this drop down window here, and also a back arrow like you would have in your file organizer on your computer, having a back arrow on here as well. So if you look in the right hand side of my screen, you can see that I have multiple folders here and subfolders too. So I have all photos 2018, each month of the year, and then I even have days written out below that November month. So that's the folder that I'm in now, is November. So I can click up here on this little menu drop down and go to either November 2018 all photos, or I can click this back arrow and it will take me back to the original section that I was in, my 2018, and I can even go back again and it would take me to all photos. But let's stick with the November option that we were already in. I also want to show you another organizational feature that I think a lot of photographers are gonna like, and that's your favorite icons down here. And you can even hover down here in the bottom corner of each image and heart these by clicking a little opaque heart. I can do it to this one too. And it's gonna store those in a favorites folder. So if I click on favorites down here, it's gonna have a subfolder with those included. So this gives me an option of, do I like these images the best? Well, I can make a subcategory for those and have them featured in their own folder. Or let's say I want to get even more in depth with this. I can shift click and select both of these, right click on that selection and go to create album, which I've already done down here. I named an album that I created favorite waterfalls, and now these two images are there as well. This gives you so many options of organization to know exactly where all of your images are going to be. Here's another one that they brought in from Lightroom that I always use in Lightroom that was a cool feature, of a star rating. So my favorite photos, I can hit my 5 key and it will include a 5-star rating down here at the bottom. Let's say I like this one a little bit less. I can hit the 4 key. It'll give me 4 stars there. So there's an option too, and I can organize those. I can say showing all photos and I can go to 5 stars, 4 stars or more, 3 stars, and so on. So you have multiple options of viewing as well. And then if you are unsure about your keystrokes, you can always go to image, set rating, and it will give you an option of star rating, a flag, a color label. You have so many options of how you can organize your images within the libraries feature, which I was shocked about and was not prepared to see because this is such a new release that it's amazing to see all in one place. And if you forget your keystrokes or you want to start using those, you have all of these options listed out for you, even the color ratings. You have keystrokes. You can use shortcuts for you that you don't have to go to your top menu bar for every little thing. So let's look in the editing portion of this. Now in the editing window that you see up here that we're in the top right corner of your screen, you still have presets down here at the bottom. However, Luminar has changed the name of these from presets to looks. Now they basically do the exact same thing and you have different options that you can choose from. So since this is a landscape image, let's go to landscape. And let's select something that's going to be, good for this image. So this is a waterfall image. Let's say, I want autumn colors. So let's select autumn colors out and we can have a good starting point with this edit. So it's going to allow me to use the majority of the workspaces that I had previously in different workspaces. You can still select out and choose your own. Like they still have all these workspaces you can choose from to make your editing easy. You still have individual filters you can choose from to make your editing easy and more unique to your editing style, which is great. But let's stick here for a second and I just want to show you one feature after I finish tweaking this just a little bit. I'm going to add an HSL filter here just to bring down my blue saturations because I don't like a lot of blues in my water for waterfall photography. And then I'm gonna bring in an exposure filter. I'm gonna brighten this up some and that looks pretty good right there. I might increase my clarity some. That looks pretty good right there. And then maybe I'll increase my vibrance some to bring out a lot more greens and yellows in this image as well. and that looks pretty good right there. I'll decrease my blues just a little bit more, just to get a little bit more blue out of that image. So that's a pretty cool image to have. Now, let's say I shot multiple images in the same location like I have in the left side on my film strip over here, and I want to apply this edit. This is one of the features that I'm most excited about in Luminar 3 because I can now right click on this image, go to Adjustments, Copy Adjustment, right click on the other image, go to Adjustments, Paste Adjustments, and that's going to paste the exact same edits that I made to the other photo into this photo. So we'll just toggle back and forth so that'll show up. And now I have these same edits in a same location with the same lighting situation that I originally had, allowing me to free up time from the edits that I would have to make with the second image to look like the first one. Now I can just copy and paste those over, which is one of the best features that I've found using Luminar 3 for the first time. This is a fantastic way to use Luminar 3 for your editing if you're jumping in and you shoot a lot of images in the same location. Hey guys, I really enjoyed my first use in looking at Luminar 3 for the very first time and experiencing it and getting my hands on it, especially the libraries feature. I thought that was a really cool way to like experience it for the first time and see everything that they had been working on over at Luminar. So what did I think? Would I recommend this? Is this a home run? Is it a game changer? I think that the usability and the aesthetics of the entire new libraries feature was a grand slam and that they knocked that out of the park. That was a fantastic way of implementing that feature while keeping all of your editing workflow the same, because if you're used to this software, you can now come in, immediately get used to libraries and the organization part of it, and then also go back to your normal editing workflow and just fly into those edits right away. So I thought that was a grand slam as well. I think that the ease of use and the user friendliness of this is a home run as well. What did I not like exactly? Well, the number one thing I didn't like is that there seems to be a bit of a lag as you're editing. It may not be as fast as some of the other softwares that you've used, but I think that's expected at this point. After they get some updates to this software in Luminar 3, that's going to get much faster and quicker. So just a little bit of patience with that. There wasn't a huge lag. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was a little bit slower than other softwares that I've used. What do I think of this and would I recommend it? Absolutely. I think Luminar 3 is a total game changer because so many photographers have been hindered that Luminar did not have an organizational feature, a libraries feature for them to organize, import all of their images. You know, it was this setback that Luminar had, and now that you have that, I think you're going to see a lot of photographers escape other softwares that have monthly payments or that more expensive or that don't have everything they want in an editing software. So I think you're gonna see a lot of photographers move to the Luminar software in the near future, way more than you would an exodus, if you will, over to Luminar. And if you want to check out Luminar a little bit more, you can check out the link below in the video description so you can go over and find out if this is going to be the best option for you as a landscape photographer. Hey guys, if you like this video or you found it useful at all, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already and you're into landscape photography. And always comment below, where are you going on your next photo adventure? That's the question of the day. Where are you going on your next photo adventure? Let us all know so we can find new locations. And always continuing watching is always an option too. Here's a playlist showing up on the best video possible for you as a viewer based on your YouTube search terms.